Okay, so Becky, right? This is the new one from Vision Films. It is written and directed by Justin Milton. It is produced by Ali Abdin and Alvin G. Morris. Executive produced by Ray Khan, Lakeisha R. Lemons, and Justin Milton. Christian McGee took care of the music. Alvin G. Morris, cinematography. Peter Ton edits the piece, while Keisha Fields was on special effects. Our cast. Okay, so we have got Greg, played by Marvin Young. His wife Joy, played by Folusho Peters. There is then Becky, played by Larissa Dali. Wilma, played by Janet Burzins. George, played by Joe Brisafi. We've got who's Becky's Dr. Robinson, played by Francesca Melonson. Sergeant Ambrose, played by Clay Paul. Keisha is played by Shakul B. Shentel. Brandon, played by Christopher St. Mary. Dr. Lang, played by Janet Wong. Yeah, I think that's the main cast. Now, the gist of the film is a newly married couple moves into their home in the suburbs and are warmly welcomed by their neighbors, one of whom takes a dangerous interest in the husband. While his wife is away, they spend an intimate moment together and then agree to keep their distance. But she inserts herself into every aspect of his life, wreaking havoc on his magic and job until the final explosive confrontation. Boy, right? Boy, who wants to be in a situation like that? Now, Becky, it is, I think it's one of those films that just makes you chuckle, right? That you can throw on and you're just like, wait, what the fuck just happened here? What's going on? What are they doing? You know, because you just see some things which don't always necessarily make sense, right? I think making a film, a film, a TV show, anything like creative, that takes a lot, right? You got to give it up for people that put themselves out there and do the thing that many people just won't ever do, right? But when it comes to these things, a lot of the time you can sink or swim on detail. And there is certain details in Becky that are kind of like, wait, what just happened there? You know what I mean? You're watching them. Wait, that makes no sense. That was nowhere there. There's a scene with a baseball bat, and you see where the baseball bat drops, and then later on, it's somewhere completely different, and you're like, wait, hold on, how the fuck could that happen? There's another bit when Greg is washing his car, and in one scene he's wearing trousers, in the next scene he's wearing shorts, and you're like, wait, hold on, wait, am I seeing things here? There's a lot of those things happening in Becky, which did make me chuckle because it's just like, wait, this is kind of crazy. How did someone miss that? Like there's the same photo in the living room as there is in the bedroom and on the fridge. You're just like, wait, they're really getting use out of that prop. Oh man, like you do see this spiral, right? You see this spiral and everything like that, but I think the big thing is, right now, I don't think we don't necessarily know that Greg and Joy are newlyweds. We know they're moving into a new house, right? But the question is, why put yourself in certain situations? Because there's certain situations here which Greg does not have to be in, doesn't have to be in, but he is. So I feel that needs to be explained, right? Because otherwise it doesn't really make any sense, especially because others have continuously pointing certain things out to him. So you're just like, wait, that doesn't really make any sense. What's happening here? We see that. We see people see things, but then do nothing. And you're just like, wait, nah. If you're seeing someone sneaking around late at night, wouldn't you ensure your doors are locked? Right? It's just things like that. Which are interesting, right? The whole police thing. Now, if someone is doing research, I doubt it's going to be the captain. I doubt it's going to be the captain. But even with that, you gotta look at more. You gotta say that someone can say something, but you're not just taking that on surface value, right? Also, they've only just moved into the neighborhood, so wouldn't you check the previous lot of neighbors? Because that's where you're getting the proper insight. Some place where they've lived for ages rather than a place they've been living at for a few weeks, right? There's some odd things happening here. It's a fun enough story for sure, right? You're just watching this craziness unravel. You know what I mean? So you're on your seat, you're watching, you know, so it's fine, right? It's all fine in that regard, but yeah, it's not necessarily the strongest of stories. Like we've definitely seen things more impactful as a thriller, right? As something where you're just like, oh shit, this is happening. Oh man. And you're believing everything. Yeah, we've seen things like recently there was Demise, which is a kind of a similar situation, really, with a crazy person involved and all of that jazz, right? But it you can see why certain things took place, right? It has you really grip the acting. You believe in these scenarios, these relationships. Here, some of the dialogue is a little clunky, right? It's a little clunky. It doesn't necessarily flow. There's a bit when I think what is it? Greg was talking with Becky, and he's just like out of nowhere. Do you date black guys? Right? It was a weird entrance to a conversation because Greg is married, right? So why would you be asking who she's dating? right? If she says something, you could go off of that and be like, yo, got a fetch or something. Like, what's going on with you? But, it's not really anything to do with him in that context. So it was weird. It was kind of clunky, right? And it's just things like that which we do get throughout the film. So I think if Justin could have tightened up the script a little bit, some of the camera angle choices aren't the best for framing a scene and bringing you into the action and what's going on. There's things like that. There's bits in the story which you'd be like, okay, after that, shouldn't something happen? Right? What would be the fallout of this thing? There's a lot of that. Or why would those people go to that house? Right? There's these things like people go for runs in the sweltering heat. No one's sweating. No one's sweating. Like, there's comments on how hot it is, the craziness of the heat, but no one's sweating when they're running. What's happening there? Come on, please, people, tell me. Tell me. Uh, yeah, it's I don't know. Like, as I said, with this one, it will kind of depend on what the type of movie you enjoy. As like this, it did make me chuckle. It made me chuckle just because of the ridiculousness of certain situations. But yeah, if you're looking for a more serious thriller, I don't know if Becky necessarily will be the one, right? Not sure if it will be the one. You want to probably go for a something like Demise or Handshake that we took a look at recently. Those type of films. You feel me? I think Becky is. Ooh, what would be a good reference point for Becky now? That's yes, that's an interesting one. I think you're looking at something like gosh. I'm like actually Maya Culpa, right? Maya Culpa, because that was ridiculous. That was really funky. Or subtle, suitable. Was it subtle flesh? I think subtle, suitable flesh. Either of those. If those were your films, if you enjoyed those, then I think you'll dig Becky. Okay, so it is out now on all your favorite VODs. If you've watched previous films from Milton and enjoyed them, then go get you some Becky.